So Gordon Brown's new book is about the first crisis of world globalization. And certainly from a matter of semantics, people would like to believe that the world are moving through a process of globalization and unification from the perspective of the corporation. So obviously the corporation is in the pound seats within globalization, because you don't have within globalization the small shop anymore, you have the big shop. And you have, if you look in South Africa, you can see how the preparations are going. You have massive areas that is emerging with massive warehouses for logistics, which is all part of globalization. Looks pretty impressive. Your airports, your business centers, developing all with one thing in view: how much money can be made through the process of globalization, and how can you position yourself to be the best possible position for globalization. And very few will be part of the top of this pecking order. Most will just be the collateral damage and the cannon fodder of the middle and lower classes that try and survive and try and keep up, but they'll never get the full story. They'll only have a very limited sphere of influence where they can make decisions. All information obviously being well moved like a flow of a river through the medias to make sure that there is just enough information for a person to make survival decisions and eventually to submit to some form of religion and belief and faith, so that they can not live so much under stress and then accept their fate and live as good robots till they die and never question the system. Obviously, though, from an equal money system perspective and the equal life foundation placement, as we prepare to eventually enter the democracies through political means and bring about a economic and social change that is best for all, equalizing all to a level that they should be, as a recognition of the value of life. We like globalization, and we like everything the globalists are doing and the corporations are doing, because they are preparing the way for equal money in a most impressive way. And it will be quite a lot easier when we step in, because everything will be in place. And the intent of the corporation to make profit and to bring down costs and to be effective in distribution and obviously open up new markets and develop emerging markets, all of those things we like, because it's going to make equal money's introduction and implementation so much easier. There's going to be a complete infrastructure in place within the next 10 to 20 years in the world. And not a single cent or any person in the world would have actually put their hands to it. It would have been built by the old capitalistic system. Isn't that wonderful? So, globalization, do your math, do your equality equation, and you'll see the interesting thing, that it is in fact of great benefit to bring about equality in the world, and that the adjustment in the value system becomes rather simplistic. The same thing happens in terms of your great farms the corporations are developing. You'll have very similar points developing, which will be very effective for the equal labor system. So you'll have smaller developments, which is what we are busy with in terms of training people, mainly training management, to be able to be practical in assessing the world's needs and directing the youth into a practical understanding as to why they should respect life. I mean, that is what education is all about. The moment the youth is being directed to try and build the next phenomena that will make a sensation and become famous to make money. I mean, it's ludicrous why people have children, because none of them have a future that's certain, and they cannot actually explore the things that apparently define a society, like art. Art, for instance, according to our current social system, defines a society, but artists are not able to actually survive on the income they make from selling their paintings. There is no structure in place to support artists. Why would parents and educators and philosophers then make a big thing about art if it is not something that actually supports the human being? It only supports poverty and misery, and it actually supports depressive situations because it is so destructive that it is such a big shock when a person spent years in studying art only to find out that they in fact will not be supported by their choice that they decided what they're going to do with their life, and only artists that's dead suddenly has value. That's really mean by those with money to do that to people in terms of their dreams and destroy it like that. But anyway, we will sort that out. It's just interesting to look at all the points as the so-called philanthropists of the world so clearly indicate their deeper passion, and that is to protect their interests. Fascinating, isn't it?